Hello everyone. Today we'll learn about all the basic concepts of accounting. I have previously made videos, 5 videos basically. Each video has two concepts. In this video, it's a summary of all those 5 videos. Okay. So here I'm not going to explain much in detail. This is basically the summary. If you want in detail, then watch those 5 videos. Okay. So we'll start. The first concept is transactions. So what are transactions? Transaction is basically an exchange of goods or services between two people. So a buyer and a seller, they have exchange of goods and services, right? I buy goods from the shopkeeper and I give money to the shopkeeper. It's a transaction because there's an exchange of goods and services. Now in transactions, there are two types: monetary transactions and non-monetary transactions. Monetary transactions has money included in that transaction, and non-monetary does not. So as I gave the example, shopkeeper and the buyer, I give money in return. Okay, so that is monetary transaction. And the barter system, you must have heard about it. There uh, money is not included, so it's a non-monetary transaction. Okay. Next is capital. Now what is capital? Before I start a business, I have to invest some money in my business, okay, so that my business can flourish. So that amount of money or that goods that I invest in the business is known as capital. Okay, I also invest my goods. Okay, so if I have a furniture at home and if it's of no use and it can be of use in my business, then I will use that furniture in my business. Barabar? So that furniture also will be my capital. Okay. And what are drawings? Now tomorrow if I need money, okay, I don't have money at my house. So what I do is I go to my office or my workplace, my business, and I withdraw money from there. So whatever money that I use from my business for my personal use is known as drawings. Okay. Next concept is debtors versus creditors. So debtors versus creditors. Versus means these are opposite terms. Okay. So debtors, your debtors are the people who owe me the money. Okay. So they are supposed to pay me the money. Okay, so those people are my debtors. So if I give rupees 100 to my friend, okay, then my friend is liable to pay me money, right? So she is my debtor, my friend is my debtor. Okay, and creditor, if I borrow money from my friend, so I have to give her money in the future, so she is my creditor. Okay, debtor is when I own the money, somebody else owes me the money, then that person is a debtor. And creditor is when I owe the money to the other person, so that person will be my creditor. Okay. Now next is discounts. So discounts you all must have heard. You go in a shop, say example, garment shop. So in a garment shop, they reduce the money. Okay, so 2000 ka shirt hai, and you get the shirt at 1500 rupees. So 500 ka jo difference hai, that difference will be known as discount. Now again, in discounts, there are two types of discounts: cash discount and trade discount. So what is cash discount? If I pay the money immediately to the shopkeeper, then the shopkeeper will give me discount. Okay, कि खुशी में दे दिया discount. अरे आपने जल्दी पैसा दे दिया, मैं आपको discount दे रहा हूँ. So that is cash discount. And trade discount is by default which you get. Okay, so you go in a shop and garment shop again, for example, उधर लिखा रहता है buy one get two free या फिर buy one get one free, whatever. So that the shopkeeper has already decided that he wants to give all his customers a discount. So that discount is known as trade discount. Okay, इधर पैसा मैंने जल्दी दिया नहीं दिया doesn't matter. Okay. Next is solvent versus insolvent. Now again here versus is written, means solvent and insolvent are two opposite terms. Okay, so what is solvent? Now if I have money, I can pay my debts on time, then I am a solvent person. Okay, so you all must have heard in science, right? Solvent solution होता है, तो salt अगर पानी में डालो तो that salt is solvent in nature. Okay, so similarly, if I am able to pay the debts on time, okay, so I am solvent in nature. Okay, and if I'm not able to pay it, I'm insolvent. Okay, अभी वो insolvent के लिए there is a lot lot of procedure. Okay, सब court matter and all is included in that. Okay, but let's not talk about that right now. So we are done with 5 concepts. Now we'll move on to next 5 concepts. So here there are 2 concepts again. As I said, versus is written, profit versus loss. Profit is opposite to loss. Now what is profit? So I earn rupees 10,000 extra. I sell I incur expenses of 10,000 and I sell goods of rupees 20,000. Okay, sale मतलब मेरा expense income है. Okay, so my expenses are 10,000, sales are 20,000. Difference कितना है? 10,000. So that 10,000 will be my profit. And loss is opposite. If I spend rupees 10,000 and my sales are 0, तो मेरा expenses ज़्यादा है, बराबर? तो it is a loss. Okay, basically when there is a profit, your sales are higher than expenses, and when there is loss, your expenses are higher than sales. Next is goodwill. Goodwill is your reputation. Goodwill is known as corporate image. Okay, so I think good of a business, for example, say Tata's, Ambani, and all those businesses are there. Okay, we think high of those businesses. Okay, कि बहुत reputed company है. So if you want any product, if you want to buy any product, we prefer these companies. So they have a good reputation, good goodwill. Okay, so here there is one concept known as customer loyalty. So whenever I want to purchase goods, I prefer these companies, and I am a repeated purchaser, repeated customer of these companies. So that is known as customer loyalty. Okay, customer loyalty होगा, अगर sales ज़्यादा होगा, profit ज़्यादा होगा, तो the company is assumed to have a goodwill. Okay, high goodwill. Next is assets. Now assets and liabilities, again there are these two are opposite terms. Okay, but I have written it separate because there are types in this. Okay, so to avoid confusion I have written separate. Now assets, what are assets? Basically these are the things that my company owns. So I have a business and I have cash, I have furniture, I have machinery, I have a factory, I have a room, small room, or whatever you prefer, a flat or whatever. All these are my own. Okay, so these are my businesses assets. Okay, my own means मेरे business का है ऐसा. Okay, मेरे business के पैसों से मैंने खरीदा है, तो these are my assets. If I am if I am conducting my business in a rented room, तो that is not an asset. Okay, क्योंकि वो दूसरों का है, right? तो अगर मुझे रेंट नहीं पे करना है, मेरा खुद का है, मेरे नाम पे है सब कागज, so those are my assets. So in assets there are 3 types: non-current assets, current assets and fictitious assets. Non-current assets को fixed assets भी बोला जाता है. Now what is non-current asset? Non-current assets are those assets that are held by the business for more than 1 year. Okay, so flat, machinery, furniture, these are my non-current assets. Why? Because I don't purchase furniture every year, I don't purchase a flat every year, I don't purchase machinery every year, so these are my non-current assets. Okay, What are current assets? The current assets are for 1 year or less than 1 year. These are held for 1 year or less than 1 year. Okay, तो नॉन करंट मोर देन 1 year होता है, ये लेस देन 1 year, कभी कभी 1 year भी रहता है. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल कैश, तो कैश इफ आई अर्न ₹10,000, ऐसे होगा क्या मैं 2 साल तक संभाल के रखी हूँ 10,000? नहीं ना, आई हैव टू स्पेंड मनी फॉर माई बिजनेसेस ग्रोथ. तो दिस इज करंट असेट बिकॉज वो 10,000 2 दिन में खत्म हो जाएगा. 2 दिन भी ज्यादा बोली मैं, 2 सेकेंड. सो दैट इज करंट असेट्स. ओके, fictitious assets. Fictitious meaning false. Okay, these are not actually assets, but they are assumed to be assets. For example, preliminary assets or preliminary expenses. These are also known as incorporating expenses. तो you want to start a company, okay? Business नहीं बोल रही हूँ, company बोल रही हूँ. So here there is lot of expenses that you have to spend. So one of the expenses is incorporating expenses. So you have to go in the ROC, that is known as registrar of companies. Okay, तो registrar of companies में जाके you have to do all the procedure to register your company. Okay, तो वो register करते समय you have to spend some expense, some name, much more expenses. So that expenses are known as incorporating expenses, also known as preliminary expenses. Preliminary means पहले का, okay, before whatever you say, वो preliminary होता है. तो these are my expenses, but why are these assumed to be assets? Because this will give me benefit for long period. Okay, मेरे business को उसका फायदा होगा, नहीं तो मेरी कंपनी खड़ी कैसी होगी? Okay, so these are not actually assets, but I have assumed that expenses to be my assets. Therefore, it is known as fictitious assets. Okay, I hope you all understand. Next is liabilities. So liabilities is opposite to assets. Assets क्या था? जो मैं own करती हूँ, मेरा business own करता है. Liabilities are that I owe to others. Okay, मुझे दूसरों को देना है या फिर मेरे business का नहीं है basically. तो example, here also you have 3 types: current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and contingent liabilities. Again, current liabilities or non-current liabilities are similar to non-current assets and current assets. So current liabilities are that for those liabilities that I have to owe for less than 1 year or 1 year. Okay, so for example, say bank overdraft, also known as bank OD, short में. So I go in a bank, I want some amount for say 90 days. Okay, but मेरे पास ज़्यादा पैसा नहीं है, तो I go in a bank, I tell the cashier कि मुझे थोड़ा पैसा चाहिए, तो the cashier he will give me a loan for 60 days. Bank overdraft का maximum period रहता है 60 days. So 60 days is less than 1 year, right? So these are current liabilities. Okay, you have to pay that loan, that bank overdraft within 60 days. Okay, मतलब within 1 year you have to pay that. इसलिए it is known as current liabilities. Non current liabilities मतलब जो बड़ा लोन लेते हैं वो. Okay, for example, you want to buy a house, लोन लिया. Land purchase करना है, लोन लिया. Okay, so these liabilities are non current liabilities because you are paying the interest on that loan, you are incurring that loan. Okay, paying back the loan for more than 1 year. Okay, 2 साल, 5 साल, 10 साल का भी रहता है तो वो non current liabilities रहता है. Okay, now let me tell you one thing, this I have not mentioned in my previous videos. Debtors and creditors are current assets and current liabilities. Debtors मतलब मुझे पैसा मिलना है, तो I own the money. Okay, so these are assets and these are less than 1 year. Okay, 1 year तक रहता है maximum. So these are my current assets. And creditors is the person who I owe the money. Okay, तो वो person को मुझे देना है पैसा, बराबर. तो क्रेडिटर भी 1 year के लिए मैक्सिमम रहता है. सो लायबिलिटी और 1 year तक रहता है, नॉट मोर देन 1 year. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज current liability. Okay, so I have not mentioned this point before. मतलब जब भी in future you have to prepare balance sheet, आपको segregate करने के लिए बोलेंगे, bifurcate करने के लिए बोलेंगे, तो debtors will come under current assets and creditors current liabilities में आएगा. Okay, now let's move on to another concept of liabilities, type of liabilities, contingent liabilities. Now please make sure that you write the correct names. Fictitious assets और contingent liabilities same नहीं है, they are different, totally different, मतलब similar भी नहीं है. Okay, तो these all the concepts are versus, तो इधर कुछ versus वगैरह नहीं है. Okay, इतना ध्यान में रखो. Contingent liabilities जो रहता है, this you have to incur or you may not incur, may or may not incur, ऐसा liabilities रहता है. Okay, so for example, भगवान ना करे, if you are having any court matter, तो कोर्ट में जाते हो आप, लॉयर के पास जाते हो, लॉयर आपको बोलता है कि केस जब भी लड़ेंगे तभी आप जीते तो ठीक, नहीं जीते तो यू हैव टू पे द कॉम्पेंसेशन. तो आपको पता है कि आप फ्यूचर प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं क्या? नहीं ना. तो इन फ्यूचर इफ यू विन द केस यू डोंट हैव टू पे द कॉम्पेंसेशन, इफ यू डोंट विन द केस, इफ यू लूज द केस, तो यू हैव टू पे द कॉम्पेंसेशन. आपको पता नहीं है, यू आर अनश्योर ना, लाइबिलिटीज होगा नहीं होगा पता नहीं है. सो दीज आर कंटिंजेंट liabilities. Okay, now the last concept is net worth. What is net worth? Net worth मतलब assets minus liabilities. That's the formula, assets minus liabilities. Okay, तो जितना आपका assets आएगा उसमें से आपका टोटल ये liabilities ये जो है वो माइनस करने का जो भी अमाउंट रहेगा वो आपका नेट वर्थ आएगा, बस. ओके, एंड लास्ट कंसेप्ट इन दिस इज, कंसेप्ट नहीं बोल सकते, फॉर्मूला बोल सकते हैं, फॉर यू ऑल टू लर्न बैलेंस शीट इन फ्यूचर. ओके, सो दिस इज द बैलेंसिंग इक्वेशन इन अकाउंट्स. तो असेट्स इज इक्वल टू लायबिलिटीज प्लस कैपिटल. कैपिटल इज ऑल्सो नोन एज ओनर्स इक्विटी. वाई ओनर्स इक्विटी? बिकॉज ये मेरा है, मैंने खुद के पैसों से अपने बिजनेस में डाला है. सो दिस इज ओनर्स इक्विटी. कैपिटल बोलते हैं उसको, ओनर्स इक्विटी बोलना है तो भी चलेगा. Liabilities plus owners equity should always match with the assets, always. Okay, अगर मैच नहीं हुआ तो समझो किधर तो गड़बड़ हुई है. Okay, so please make sure that all the amounts are tallying with each other. When these amounts like assets is equal to liabilities plus capital जब भी होता है तभी आप बोल सकते हैं कि मेरा बैलेंस शीट टैली हो गया. ओके, नहीं हुआ तो रोने नहीं बैठने का. कुछ लोग गड़बड़ किए रहती है, एडजस्टमेंट में गड़बड़ होती है या फिर एक्सपेंसेस कुछ ऐसा अमाउंट मिस्टेक रहता है. ओके, सो प्लीज वॉच दिस वीडियो प्रॉपरली. ओके, ठीक से नहीं देखा रहेगा, किधर घूमने गए रहेंगे, फिर से देखो, प्रीवियस वीडियोस देखो फॉर डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन, बिकॉज दीज आर वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर योर होल अकाउंट्स स्ट्रीम. ओके, कॉमर्स स्ट्रीम पूरा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, इसके ऊपर है. Okay, this is the base. This is my personal experience. I have experienced this pain. Okay, if you don't understand the concepts, please watch it. If you still don't understand it, you can ask me in the comment section. So thanks for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe.